Save the day with brand new Rescue Ace. Burst Protocol is, we're not done with the reveals from it yet, and we have potentially pretty interesting cards to take a look at right now because new Rescue Ace, it's not been that long since Rescue Ace was a meta archetype, so who knows if these two are good, we might be looking at a serious meta contender again. However, Link 4 introduced, I believe the first Rescue Ace Link monster, means that that card is not going to be legal in Genesis for whatever it's worth. But let's take a look because these cards could even be good in Advanced Constructed because Rescue Ace is pretty strong of a deck. So, Rescue Ace Quick Attacker, level 3 Fire Warrior. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can shuffle one other Rescue Ace card from your hand or face-up field into the deck. Special summon this card from your hand. You can tribute this card. You cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except fire monsters. Also, add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand. Then, if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon the added monster. Okay. We're starting things off with, I would say, a pretty mediocre card for modern standard. I mean, look, it's an extender, which is good. It's an extender that goes -1 though, which is, I feel like there's other archetypes who've gotten better extenders, but nonetheless, it is a playable card. Tribute this card to search makes it so that I feel like it's the second, like you can use it as a normal summon, right? You don't have to special summon it if you don't want to shuffle back a card. However, I believe if you're going first, this is not a 1-card starter. Because if you just normal summon it, then tribute it to search a Rescue Ace monster, I don't think you can really do anything meaningful with that. You could search Preventer and special Preventer, but then do nothing with that. If you search Hydrant, the Hydrant is in your hand, not in your field. So it's not even like a Lone Fire Blossom. It's only a Lone Fire Blossom when you go second. It's mid because it's not quick effect. It's weird. It's called Quick Attacker and neither of its effects are quick effects. That's true. Because the first effect would be, even if the special summon effect was a quick effect, it'd be pretty good. Because then you could dodge like Imperm on Turbulence or something like that. If you could shuffle it in as cost, that'd be neat. Look, this is definitely a mediocre card in terms of like power level for a card that's going to be released in 2025, even 2026 for us in the TCG. I still feel like it's a card that you would play in Rescue Ace because even though it is a weak extender, I feel like this sort of ability is something that Rescue Ace wants. And even as a starter, right? It's not a 1-card starter, but it's like if you have another Rescue Ace card in your hand, it is a starter because you can special summon it, tribute it to search, and then normal summon like Hydrant, and that's going to be good enough to actually play. But it's definitely on the weaker side of things. I like the idea of being able to shuffle Rescue Ace cards back into the deck, right? Get rid of the trap cards in your hand. That's neat, but the quality is just a little, I feel like it's lackluster, but they still play it because I feel like Rescue Ace is desperate for this kind of card, but it's not a good card per se. It can't extend it when you've already used your normal summon. It's a 1.5 card starter. It can extend into like it can still be another body, right? And like even if you, let's say you normal summon Hydrant, it gets negated, then you special summon this, tribute it, search Preventer, special Preventer, make a Link 2, then Preventer revive something, and then you can make a Link 3 and so on. Like it provides in a deck that has Rescue Ace Preventer and Promethean Princess, it provides good Link climbing still, you know? But yeah, okay. Rescue Ace Arbitrator, Link 4 Fire Machine monster. By the way, this card, is it just me or is this just Turbulence, but with a blue card frame? Link 4 Fire Machine, 4000 attack, 2+ fire monsters. So Promethean Princess, Insta Link 4. You can only special summon Rescue Ace Arbitrator once per turn, and you can only use the second effect twice per turn. If this card is Link summoned, you can add a Rescue Ace Hydrant or a Rescue Ace HQ from deck or graveyard to your hand. Recycling for the field spell, I believe, is new for Rescue Ace, because it used to be, at least the way I remember it, it was like Rescue Ace HQ was a one-of, and that was the main card that was responsible for recycling in the deck. And if you got rid of the HQ, it was pretty hard to actually get back into the cycle. No, it has reinforced graveyard effect. Oh, you misunderstood. I meant like in the realm of playable Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because Reinforce was always ass. So in the card you actually played in the deck. And then if you activate a Rescue Ace Quick Play spell or normal trap, you can target one card on your opponent's field to destroy that target. That is twice per turn. Okay, you know what? That card isn't terrible. I think it's a little odd that it adds Hydrant, because this is basically the end of your combo. You're searching your starter. You know what I mean? This is a little weird. Why would I search Hydrant when I'm already done with basically everything? But at the same time, searching a HQ at the end of your combo is neat, because that's going to be a free +1. Like at the end of you finish your line, you get HQ for free. You can use HQ to shuffle stuff in and draw a card. That's okay. And if your HQ ever goes to the graveyard, you have a way to add it back now, which is neat. And it's also a decent endboard piece, because it turns basically all of your Rescue Ace, Quick Plays, and normal traps into a pop. Now, this is a trigger effect, so it doesn't respond to your Quick Play spell or normal trap, which means that on the good side, it can't be chain blocked. On the bad side, it's on a new chain, so it's going to be a little slower than what you might like it to be in some cases. Like, for example, your opponent activates a field spell. You cannot respond and then immediately pop it. You have to wait for that chain to resolve and then pop it on a new chain, but at that point it will already have added or something like that. So I would say in a vacuum, this card is only okay, but considering how it's a fire deck and you have Promethean Princess, essentially this card is more like a Link 3, right? Like if you can make a Link 3, you can make this. So it's gonna be like you make this and you have a Promethean Princess in the graveyard now, which is also a disruption. So you're gonna make this instead of like a Salamangreat Raging Phoenix or Amblo Whale, right? And is this card better in Rescue Ace than those two cards? Absolutely, right? Absolutely, it's better than ending on an Amblo Whale or a Raging Phoenix in Rescue Ace. So this is definitely an upgrade to the deck. And since it's an extra deck card, there's not really a downside to it. You're just gonna play it and it's gonna be solid in Rescue Ace. My problem here is that I feel like Rescue Ace at the moment has a couple of issues, and since we're only getting 2 cards here, these cards only solve a few of them. Rescue Ace, especially pure Rescue Ace, looking at it from the TCG perspective, where you can no longer play Diabell Star Original Sinful Spoils to make the deck more consistent, Rescue Ace would have really liked another starter. And while Quick Attacker can be a starter, it's a very mediocre one, and it's a very vulnerable one. Like, imagine this card being your only starter, and you shuffle back another Rescue Ace card from your hand into the deck just to summon it out, and then you tribute it, and then you get ashed on it. And it's like, okay, now I'm stuck with 3 cards in hand, and I just got interrupted on my very mediocre starter. That's gonna suck, right? So the Link monster is good, but I feel like the main deck monster, while it is playable, just does way too little for the deck to solve any of its actual problems. Like, you know, this needed to be a solid starter. I feel like if this was a solid starter with a bonus effect like this going second, I could have seen it. Like, if it was easier to special summon, I would have already been happy with that. Right? If it was easier to special summon, like, let's say if you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are Rescue Ace monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it had that sort of effect, it would be a lot better, because then it would be a 1-card starter without losing any card advantage, great extender, and so on and so forth. That would have been awesome. Because you have to draw another Rescue Ace card and you have to go -1 to summon it, I think it's only mediocre, and I think it doesn't fix enough problems for Rescue Ace. This wave of support. The whole design is terrible for my POV. It's weird because it doesn't feel like a modern Yu-Gi-Oh card. Like a lot of more recent archetypes or legacy support that we've looked at have gotten way better like support pieces. It feels like this one it feels almost mid on purpose. Right? Because, I mean, it's super easy to tell that this card is much lower quality than any other main deck consistency piece that they've printed in forever, you know? Like, it's basically the bare minimum for most starters these days is like, okay, when I'm summoned, I go +1 for consistency, and this card cannot even do that, right? I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this card. Well, I know how I feel about it, but I don't know why they made it that way. But okay. They gave Exo custom support, but Rescue Ace gets this. So unfair, man. I mean, to be fair, Exo Sister has been historically a weaker deck than Rescue Ace. So it kind of makes sense. I feel like, especially from the OCG perspective, it feels like to me they are less willing to give decks super good support that were very meta in the past. And I think in the OCG, Rescue Ace was even better than it was in the TCG, because Rescue Ace was one of the better decks under Maxi, right? Rescue Ace was always historically like pretty solid into Maxi, because it was like, okay, Summon Turbulence set for pass was pretty good into Maxi. And so I think, if I'm remembering correctly, during the time that Rescue Ace was a good deck, it was pretty popular in the OCG. And so I feel like that's why they're cautious with this one, because Exo Sister, I think, was never that meta in the OCG, similar as to in the TCG. It was always a rogue deck. So giving it more powerful support to maybe give it a better chance is, I think, something that they view as okay. Whereas Rescue Ace was already a meta strategy back in the day for quite some time. And so they want to release some legacy support for the Rescue Ace fan base, but they don't want to actually make it meta, is what this feels like. That's what this feels like, right? Exo Sister was more popular in Power of the Elements than it was here, but it was not tier 1. Exactly, right? Like, Exo Sister came out, they did play it. I'm not saying that they didn't play it, but it never managed to really break into top tier during like Sprite and Tearlament times. Whereas Rescue Ace, I feel like, was the most represented deck for some periods.